Hi guys, Queen Flannel here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing well. So we're gonna work on a whip today. I just started this earlier in the week. I can't remember when, but we're gonna work in Magical Dawn, and we are going to work on move my stuff out of the way. Our the peacock lady. I got like a weird shadow over here, so I'm not sure what's going on. I gotta move some things around on my desk, but I have been working on this image on and off. This is um my off-camera image because I've been recording some other stuff. But I'm working with Derwent Inktense pencils on this one. Her face is don't look at her. She doesn't have her face on. I started working on her skin with Prismacolor. She's got like one layer down, and that's mainly because I had a little incident with some of the Inktense, and when I tried to correct it, it started to peel the paper. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do about that yet. I'll figure it out, but for today, I figured we would just work on some of these feathers with the Inktense pencils, and I could chat with you guys about um, what's going on with the channel and what the next bit is gonna look like. So I got some coffee that I'm gonna take a sip of, and I'm trying to remember where. Okay, so let me just add this dark line in here before I move on to the next feather down here. I just want to get this line. I'm just basically doing what I was doing up here. And this is sea blue. So I have no idea what I'm going to do for a background on this one, because I did her hair in kind of a complementary color with the orange. I'd originally thought about doing the background in some kind of orange, which I guess I still could, and just more make it a more orangey orange, since her hair is more of a auburn brown red. And I am using a Tombow water marker colorless blender for this project. And I wish I had pulled this out a little bit more in this one. Let's, before this dries, I'm just gonna add a little bit more of the green in here. So, yeah, I haven't done a color in chat in, like, an actual color in chat in quite some time. We did watercolor Wednesday, but I didn't really like chat with you guys. That was more about like channel stuff. So I've been pretty busy this week. Um I am going to be at the base for the week next week, which money wise is always good. Leaving the house for a week, not so much. So this week has been just trying to get everything set up for husband and my son so that they don't have a whole bunch of crap to deal with. Just trying to get laundry done and um get all of the animals. I I changed pen liners and litter boxes and everything out this morning for all of the small animals. I've got most of my laundry done. I think I've got a load of uniform stuff that's down there that I need thrown in my suitcase for for later when I finish packing my stuff up, and mopped and I vacuumed and I took a whole bunch of stuff to the recycling place yesterday, and I've got to go do some grocery shopping and stock up on vegetables for the small animals so that hopefully they can get through the week. And then I should be good. Normally, like, I wouldn't be going up on at 5:30 in the morning tomorrow. I would leave and go up later in the afternoon, but I'm actually working up there tomorrow, so let's see. Looks like I started doing some of this. So, this is the teal green. That's what I used on the inside edges here, and then went back in with some of the green aquamarine, like right up around the edges. But yeah, I will be up there all next week. Yay, fun. So I will definitely be taking some coloring supplies with me so I can work on some things in the hotel room. Other than that, this week has just been trying to get things done. I worked on some stuff for you guys. I have at least 2 parts of it will come out while I'm gone. Depending on how things go today, I might be able to get the 3rd part done and ready to go and scheduled for next week. So on Monday and Wednesday, you guys will get a two parts of a super secret squirrel. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is. You'll have to wait. But that'll come out on Monday and Wednesday, possibly Friday. I feel like at this point, if I get 2 videos out for you guys next week in between everything else, we're doing pretty good. So, that will be coming out for you guys. I've been doing a lot of the legwork for the alcohol marker color chart video. Just trying to get my notes together and, figure out how I want to format everything. So that is a working on in between other projects type deal. The nice thing is I can record each marker set in parts, so I can record the Copic part and then work on other things to release for you guys. And then stitch everything together. I was hoping that it would be here today, but I don't think it's going to. I have an RJ Hampson, one of his new books that I ordered that I wanted to do a flip through of. I was gonna record a flip through, and if I couldn't get the coloring video finished, that I could schedule that for next Friday, but don't think that is going to be here today. I have some of the Heron brush markers coming, which a lot of people I've seen really like, especially if you're into watercolor. I know they've been out for a while, so I'm not sure if anyone would be interested in seeing me either swatch or demo them. If you want me to do something with them and record it, let me know, and I can work on that when I come back. And I have something planned for Corey's H is for March that I will be working on later when I come back. And if you are not familiar with Corey is colorfully optimistic, and every month she does a different letter, either a supply, or I think she's extended it to a supply or an artist or a book, and it's a different letter each month, and the challenge is to use something starting with that letter to, you know, complete a project. So I have something that I will be working on when I come back. That should be interesting. I've really been enjoying the Inktense lately. Ooh, didn't clean my brush off good enough there, but that's okay. I actually kind of like for this when we get a little bit of a color mixture in there. I'm okay with that. But I also have ordered the 3 remaining Karolina Kubikowska books that I did not have. I have not looked since I posted in the community tab the other day that whatever was going on with her website was apparently fixed and the books were back up and it looked like everything was available. So I'm not sure if they are still available, but definitely go check out her website. Her books are amazing. So expect to be seeing a lot of Karolina coming up once I get those books. I really like, aside from just the her art style. I mentioned this uh in a comment on my completed pages video with another YouTube creator, JoJo's Hanna, how I find Karolina's books just, I feel really uninhibited when I work in her books, like just to play, you know, not like overthinking things, like just they just lend themselves to bold colors and trying out wild color palettes. And so I have really been enjoying the one book of hers that I have, so I'm definitely looking forward to getting the others. And since they lend themselves so well to Inktense and the water, I use my watercolor pencils in one of them, one of the images. They they go pretty quick in terms of being able to complete them. So I've been finding them really nice for recording future content. Um like if I know that I'm going to be gone, uh like I am next week, that I can finish an image in one of her books in enough like parts to actually have a video series to put out, so that's nice. And I will definitely be looking to do I'm going to be looking to do more pre-recording content to release later over the next few months. Um that way even when I'm not home and I don't have access to, my recording equipment, you guys will still have things to watch. Now, I'm not sure all, if they're going to be like tutorials or if I'm going to primarily set them to music. It is, and I mentioned this before, it is, kind of hard to do a color and chat like 2 months in advance, because then by the time the video comes out, you guys, whatever it is that I'm chatting about is like outdated. So, possibly a couple tutorials, maybe an Inktense tutorial. Um, but a lot of them probably will be set to music. It's easier to pre-record that way. And just trying to balance things out between the chatty chat, the tutorials, and other things. I like to try and do a mixture because I know I have subscribers that um prefer when I talk, and I have subscribers that like the stuff set to music, when they're at work and or doing other things and just want something as background noise. So it's trying to balance it out and do a little bit of everything. Thought maybe we would be able to get through all of these feathers today, but I don't know. And I'll have to pull out my color wheel and start looking at options and whatnot um for the flowers and things like that. And then I may go in after I'm done with the Inktense with some pencils and just go into some of these little cracks and crevices and add some definition. That's the one thing that on certain images I find is a little tough with the Inktense is um getting things to not look like flat. And especially like this where you would want some texture, so we will see what happens with that. All right, so now I'm going to I'm going to turn the book this way. It'll be easier for me to do it this way, and it'll be easier for you guys to see, and it will be not quite as hard on my wrist to color from this direction. So this is apple green, and this was the color that I'm using around the edges. And I think once this dries too, like I would have some shadow and some darker areas in here. So I might do that with either more Inktense or pencil. Not sure currently. See how I feel. when I get that. And I mean, these are feathers, so they don't all need to look uniform. I'm not too worried about, you know, how far down I bring this green. It's doesn't need to match. Plus, it's going to be kind of blended together anyways. And that is one of the things with the Inktense. If you are new to Inktense, and you find yourself like your colors looking like flat and not being able to get, different values with them, is so I want some of this green to come down into this area, but I want my edges to be a little darker. So what I can do is concentrate the majority of my pigment up here in the corner, and rather than color this whole thing green, drag some of this down into the white space, and it will be darker up here and lighter down here, so I get that value. And um when I go to color this part, I'll show you what I mean. I think I think a lot of people, especially if you're not experienced with watercolor and whatnot, and your primary focus is colored pencils, where for the most part, unless you're leaving like white highlights, the tendency is to use your color to fill the entire, the entire area. And if you do that with the Inktense, the way it works and the way you're pushing things around, like I said, it's gonna look kind of flat in one value. So you don't need to fill your entire space with the pigment. You can use your water brush or your blender pen, whatever you're using, to get different values with it. I hope that made sense. I'll try and show you guys when I start using the brush on these. So but right now we're just gonna try and get some of this in here. I'm actually gonna go in and add a little more pigment up in these corners. I was actually thinking about getting some of the Inktense blocks. I have the paint palette, which I am using in my project for next week, but I don't have any of the blocks. And it's funny, I didn't realize how tiny they were. I've watched people use them, and on camera they look like about the size of a like a square pastel. And I was at the art store the other day with my son, and they had some at the fine art store, and I was like, these are tiny, like in diameter. They're bigger than a like a match, but they're tiny, like way smaller than I thought they would be. Okay, so next we're gonna go in here with our teal green. This in the corner. Yeah, if you guys have any ideas for me on a background, let me know in the comments. I'm open to suggestions because I have no idea. And what was it? Green Aquamarine? Was that what I used up here in the... See, I can't remember. And honestly, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so let me just make sure my brush is cleaned off here. So this is what I mean about not filling this space down here with color and going back over it. Because if I want this lighter than the top up here, if I just go in and start dragging it, it's gonna be all of the same value. So what I'm gonna do is just start here at the edge, and I'm gonna pick up a little bit of this color, and then I'm gonna come down here into my white space, pick up a little bit more color, and come down here into my white space. And so I've still got some color in there. And now I'm going to kind of pounce my brush around the edges and then go up into my darker area. Back down here. And I can always go in and add more up here in the corners. I feel like I need. So we've got a little darker up here in the corner, and then we've still got some lighter down here. And now I'm going to come in and kind of blend out some of the green. And this is where you kind of want to be careful. Like I want a nice blend and a nice transition in here. But you kind of have to go back and forth, clean your brush off, go back in, because if I just keep dragging this, then eventually my apple green is going to be all turquoise. So just grab a little bit and pull it out to get your blend. And then when I'm working from the lighter area down here, if I clean my brush off and go back in, then I can blend this transition out. And just varying the pressure on the pen as well. helps. And if you just kind of pounce it over the edges there, then you get that nice blended transition. So, oh, I didn't really come out too far with this one. So let's just need a little bit more. All right, so let's do the same thing with this one. I'm just going to grab a little bit of that edge, pull down into my white space, and then I'm going to come up here in my darker area. Work in this area, and then clean my brush off. And now I'm going to come down here into my dark area. Go right to the edge. Clean my brush off. And then go from my light back up into my dark. And just kind of gently go back and forth. And we get a nice highlight and a nice transition. So yeah, so basically, long and short of it is you don't need to fill the entire space with pigment. You can kind of push it around like it's paint. The other big thing is just always make sure that you are cleaning your brush off. That's the big thing. Back and forth. And typically the smart play is to work from your light area into your dark area. But since I'm working with two pretty different colors, I kind of have to work a little bit of the dark into the light just to be able to get a nice blend. You just don't want to take it too far. And you'll be able to see it as it as you work. If you dilute this darker area up too much, you'll see it happen. It'll kind of disappear, and that's where you know that you're being too heavy-handed with your pigment and you're pushing it all over. So if you want to keep this area darker up here, just kind of pounce your brush around, and don't drag your pigment all over, because you know, bye-bye white highlight. Well, this turned into more of a tutorial than a color in chat. But it's all good. We're having fun. And you can't really do it when you're I haven't been able to get it to work for me. I just don't it's just not going to happen. Um when you're working with either the water markers, water-based blenders or the alcohol blenders to activate these, you can't really take your water-based blender to the tip of the pencil like you could if you were working with a paintbrush. That's one of the things that I'll do if I'm using like the water brush and I want just very concentrated um area of pigment to darken something up after the fact. I will just take my water brush right to the tip um of the pencil and grab the pigment that way. That's not to say that I can't go back in and do that with a water brush after the fact. Oh, I like the way that um I like the variation on that. I got some of the green in there and it really blended nicely with the turquoise. Yeah, I like the way that's come out so far. All right, let's go back here. All right, let me just take a drink of coffee real quick while I reassess here. All right. Yeah, the other nice thing about using the blender pens on this is I think it allows you to be able to use the Inktense on papers that normally um, don't do well with water mediums because you're not super saturating your paper. Like if I was doing this with a brush, I would be dealing with my paper crinkling right now. And with the blender pen here, I am not having to deal with any of that. I need to try and be careful of the darker blue that I put up in the corner. I think I'm pulling too much of it out, and I've lost a little bit of my shadow. That would be one of those areas where I would need to go back in probably. I think I might take this one with me and work on in the hotel as well next week. I haven't even picked out what books I'm going to take with me. Maybe I'll actually be able to get my long-standing Kirby whip. My Chinese dragon. Maybe I'll be able to get that done this week. Sorry guys, kind of got in the zone. Not only that, but I don't know what to talk about other than just getting ready to leave for the week. I don't really have anything like major to talk about. My life is kind of boring ish. I mean, um we're going to I know. It's next weekend, next Saturday when I come back. We have tickets to go to it's like a walk-in Van Gogh exhibit. So they have like his artwork and whatnot projected up on the walls, and you get to like be inside his work and whatnot. It's like it's a traveling exhibit, I guess, but they're in my city, and the tickets were not cheap, but uh, if I had to pick a an artist is like a favorite, it would definitely be Van Gogh. I actually did a paper on Van Gogh in college. I had to take an art history class as part of my theater degree, and we had to write a paper on an artist or an art topic, but we had to do it in the style of um, like an editorial, so as if we were writing for a magazine. In the cover page of the paper, we had to design like a magazine cover for it, and we had to put so many images and like a headline and uh and so mine, I did the the cover as like popular psychology, and uh my paper, I can't remember the title of it, but it was on you know Van Gogh's struggle with mental illness and how it influenced his art, and my teacher really enjoyed it. I got an A on it, and I got an A in that class. And for someone who did not really pay attention to much in high school, I was pretty proud of my second attempt at college. So, but it was fun, and yeah, we're gonna go walk through the world of Van Gogh. So I thought it sounded really neat, and I actually went to the Van Gogh Museum um in Amsterdam when I was stationed in Europe. My last trip before we came home was to Amsterdam, and that was one of the things, the little group that I went with. It was a USO tour, and obviously I didn't want to be walking around Amsterdam by myself once the guided portion of the tour was over. So some of us, we buddied up and went off, and um one of the people that was in the group that I hung out with really wanted to go to the Van Gogh Museum, and I was down for that. So we got tickets to the for the tram and just went all over the place, and we went Van Gogh Museum and the Anne Frank house, and we did a free canal ride tour, and of course we went to the red light district. I feel like you just have to just to be able to say that you did it. And then we went to an ice bar, and it was a good time. I miss Europe. All right. I definitely think this one needs some more. Let's see what we can do about getting some more little shadow in here with the Inktense. Let's just see if we can do it. Where we at? All right, so we'll work on just this little section and just see what we can do, and then I think that will be good for us today, so that I can get this out for you guys tomorrow and work on some other projects. Eh. And I'm just going to scribble that color I picked up into this little area right here. There. I think she turned out well, we're not done yet. I think she looks pretty cool. I'm happy with the way she looks so far, aside from, you know, a little mishap over here. So, thank you guys so much. I super appreciate all of your support. I appreciate everybody that takes time out of their day to watch my videos, chats with me on the community tab, and in Discords and whatnot. So thank you. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified when I post additional content, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much.